and gentlemen, welcome back to Aussie Starcraft as we check out Game 3 in this slick PvZ series in the bottom centre location of Merry-Go-Round. It's our young Protoss player, Sjaak. Now Sjaak, I know I call him the young Protoss player, and I think that's something he deserves at 16 years of age to be doing as well as he is. Mad power to him, and he's been doing very well in this tournament. Up and comer on the scene and just showing us what he's made of as he makes life very difficult for our blue Zerg player in the top left hand corner. It's going to be Starbuck playing for Mouse Sports. So it has been a very fun series, very back and forth, lots of aggression in this series. Certainly no slow macro games in this series, no gentleman agreement between these two players. They have gone to town from day dot of this best of 3 series. Saw very aggressive openings out of both of them in game number 1. Game 2 we saw a similarly aggressive opening with Starbuck clinging for dear life with those swarm hosts, but using them very effectively, managing to get in some nice counterattacks, using the good old Nidus network, not something that we see a whole lot of nowadays, and almost managing to make it work. Unfortunately, Sjaak had his number in game number 2, and that's brought us to game at number 3 in this series. If you haven't seen those games, you ought to check them out. Great PvZs, very scrappy early gameplay, showing you what you can do with just a few units, and I've certainly enjoyed casting them, so I hope you guys are getting just as big a kick out of watching them. We have a stack of StarCraft games to cast here. It has been a busy week, and the games have been piling up. If there is anything that you guys would like to see cast, please send it through to my Gmail address, which is aussiestarcraftreplays@gmail.com. The link is actually in the description, so shoot through your replays, whether they're pro games, whether they're your own games. Happy to cast anything here on the channel, give you a bit of enjoyment, a little bit of time in the limelight's always fun. So yeah, if you've had any great games, let us know, send them through, and we'll be happy to cast those. Had some fun on the ladder myself this morning. The game tending to match me up against people that are a lot stronger than me, versing a lot of Diamond and Masters players, which was a little bit of a struggle. Managed to beat one of the Diamond Zergs, which was the highlight of my morning, and decided a little bit of Overlord dancing. Sjaak saw that there, so having a bit of a laugh. Got to love that between pro gamers. Lots of respect here, and a little bit of fun too, and that's the name of the game. If you're not having fun, why are you playing? So Sjaak actually going for a Forge Fast expand here, so a little bit different from the Gateway expands we've seen previously. A lot of Zerglings on the field for Starbuck, who went spawning pool first again in this series, so obviously a little bit wary against the potential cannon rush. Didn't know it was a Forge Fast expand, but has scouted that out now, and is going to get a great idea of what Sjaak's up to, throwing down the double gas. Nexus finally finished on the low ground. There is actually a cannon in play here, but these Zerglings moving out. Zergling speed only about 20 seconds from completion, so if Sjaak isn't careful, this base could well be overrun. Gonna throw down a pylon here. Zerglings starting to make their way. Zergling speed's gonna tick down right as they come into vision. Really needs to throw down something in this gap. The Zergling's gonna make it through. Speed looks like it'll finish, and indeed it does. Those Zerglings break up the ramp into the main. There's horrible news for Sjaak, who has no units out to actually deal with this. No cybernetics core yet in play for a mothership. Going to throw down something to complete that wall. These Zerglings able to do a little bit of damage in the main. In fact, one worker has been killed so far, but a lot of lost mining time for our Protoss player. But that is damage that Starbuck needs to do, as our Protoss player does have 2 bases up, whereas he has only just finished his hatch on the low ground. Lots of Zerglings coming through here. It looks like the wall has been completed, so Zerglings not going to be able to make their way up in here, but unfortunately Starbuck is going to continue to do a lot of damage with these Zerglings. Going to keep the Zealot running around, potential to run back and forward between these bases. Still only 1 worker killed. Really needs to finish off a few of those drones. In fact, gets a second one there without losing it. Oh, one spoke too soon. That Zergling actually cut in half by the side blades of that Zealot. These Zerglings are on the low ground, going to be able to go to town just a little bit. Should probably try and kill the probe that's on red health, as the mothership core is now here, moving back and forward between the cannon and the mothership core. Will clean these Zerglings up very quickly. Can they get a final kill or two? We have a large group of Zerglings waiting out the front. Imagine Starbuck drone up behind us. We saw 6 drones finish up there, so no actual aggression behind this, but plenty of Zerglings out on the map to certainly keep a Sjaak wary. Actually, a Stargate is going to be the follow-up here, so a little bit of an interesting choice. Particularly on merry-go-round that does have this fixed limit, so it makes me think it's going to be Oracle. Indeed, an Oracle is on the production tab there. So Phoenix obviously a lot better in maps where you have wide open bases for them to duck in and out of. Starbuck looks like he's going to respond by just madly droning up. We actually don't have a Roach Warren on the field yet. We do have a lair coming up now, but Starbuck's tech choice is still a little bit unclear at this point. Pure Zergling speed, going to throw down a few spore crawlers to ensure that Oracle doesn't meet with too much success. There are plenty of queens out on the map. We have 2 in the natural expansion. We have a spore just finishing up in the main base. Though a well microed Oracle can still do a lot of damage here. Potential to get 2 or 3 drone kills at least. On a good day, could be as many as 4 or 5, but with the spore crawler there, unfortunately Sjaak going to take a lot of damage. Could potentially pick off the gas at this expansion. Gotta be super careful. 19 health left on that Oracle. Doesn't want to lose it. Very important to keep it alive for scouting. Throwing down a 3rd base. Unfortunately, this base won't be coming up anytime soon. Plenty of Zerglings here to take that down. We can see a lot of damage there. Forces the cancel. The Void Ray is going to drive a lot of these Zerglings back. Nice surround. Is actually going to pick off both of those sentries. That's bad news for Sjaak. A lot of gas and units tied up there. These Zerglings could potentially dart into the main. That doorway left open once again. And we can see Starbuck thinking about it. Unfortunately, these Zerglings taking a lot of damage from those air units. Poor Zerglings can't shoot up, but not going to stop the economy of Starbuck. Without virtually anything in the way of defense, we have a Hydralisk Den on the way now, so finally going to be able to produce a few Hydras, and those will certainly be needed. These Void Rays going to be moving out. Very compact but high DPS sort of army here. Void Ray is going to be able to do massive damage to this expansion, though there are quite a lot of queens on the field. Plenty of Hydras coming as well, so this and the creep spread actually doing very well from Starbuck. So creep going to be making its way to that 3rd base very quickly. Plenty of queens in line here ready to defend. And we'll see if Sjaak can make something from this. He may well be forced to fall back. Actually going to throw down 2 photon cannons at this 3rd base. I like that choice. Playing it a little bit safer. Normally we see 1, 2 is going to make it quite difficult for early game Zerglings to do anything at all. And Sjaak's now going to crank out the Phoenix production. We see Phoenix being made triple Stargate plus 1 air upgrades on the way. I like this out of Sjaak. I love it. I love Skytox, particularly against Zerg. We'll see if he can make something happen. These Void Rays are going to be very annoying here. They can kill that spore crawler so quick, it's insane, particularly with that prismatic alignment. Indeed, they pick it off there. The Oracle now going to town. The Hydralisk is going to be doing a lot of damage. Force the mass recall out. Indeed, that was the right response. This is so many Hydralisks. Normally we'd expect to be seeing a few Roaches mixed in, but Starbuck pure Hydralisk to deal with this insane amount of Skytoss. This is so many Phoenix. 6 at a time. 6 at a time. 6 on the field, 7 on the field, with the Phoenix continuing to be made 2 or 3 at a time. Air upgrades almost finished up now. This Phoenix Cloud's going to start to become very terrifying. Overlords on the map, going to be an endangered species as we see it move goofily back and forward along that hard barrier there. Unfortunately, can't escape. Though a big Hydralisk counterattack at the front door is very scary. These queens actually walking their way across the field. Overlord Highway going to make them able to make it over here a lot quicker than we'd otherwise expect. And there's the Starbuck freeway here as he just barrels his way into the Protoss expansion. Going to unpower the Cybercore, stop that air upgrade seconds before it would have completed. These Phoenix desperately want to engage, but unfortunately too little too late. Too many Hydralisks, too many queens, and Starbuck just showing us how quick a Zerg player can get aggressive when you go Skytoss. I love the creep highway. Like I said, it's been a while since we've seen something like that, but straight through the middle of the map, and Starbuck just barrels across the field. Max queens, max Hydralisks, and just forcing his way across the map as quickly as possible. So great win, very creative win from Starbuck, adapting to the 3-gate Stargate play of Sjaak. and managing to take this series. I hope you've enjoyed it. A little bit of Protoss vs Zerg love to kick off your week. There will be a massive amount of StarCraft uploaded to the channel over the weekend, so tune in, guys. There'll be plenty of StarCraft here. For those of you who've been missing the action, WCS has been continuing at pace. Tasia just still completely untouchable, managing to take every series thus far 2-0. We'll see if they can put a stop to it next week in the round of 8. So check it out, guys. It is some of the best StarCraft you'll ever see, and hopefully we'll be casting a bit of it here on the channel as well. So stay tuned. There's Aussie StarCraft, and I'll see you in the next cast.